Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Suzette Speaks, a TV host and attorney here in South Florida, and I want to welcome you to this episode of the Let's Talk Justice Show. Today's episode will be dedicated to the life and legacy of Miya Marcano. If you are new to the channel, thank you again for subscribing. Please go ahead and hit that like button, and we are going to allow tonight's show to be a safe space where people can express themselves since we've had such a harrowing week following the story of Miya Marcano. And for those who have not been keeping up with the news, it's been said in the news, for a couple days now that her body has been located. And for me, I know it just took me some time to digest that information before I could come on and respond to it. So I want to welcome you. This show and this platform is called Let's Talk Justice, a talk show for the community. This is a show where I break down everyday laws, current events, and politics for everyday people. So I want to thank you first and foremost for watching and hopefully sharing and liking. So, for those of you who have been watching this story unfold over the last week, what a week it has been. I would never have imagined that my life would be so impacted by someone I had never met. And I didn't want this outcome. I know so many of us didn't want this outcome. And my prayers, first and foremost, are with the family. I want to extend my deepest and sincerest condolences to her entire family, friends, and extended family. This is a heartbreaking, traumatic set of events that no one, no family deserves to be living. And I'm just so perplexed by, what her final experiences must have been like, and now what her family must live with, and how we can do something about it. For those who were not aware, I just want to catch you up that on Saturday, this past week, Miss Marcano's body was located actually at an apartment complex around about 17 miles, about give or take, some people say more than 30 minutes, not even an hour from where she lived. This apartment complex also was a place where the sole, so far, person of interest used to live. This was not his current abode. This is where he used to live, an apartment where he used to live. It was found in a wooded area about 10:45 in the morning, and most of the world found out about her passing that evening, that same Saturday evening, probably between 3 and about 6 p.m., when the sheriff of Orange County finally gave his press conference. And I just wanted to digest the magnitude of what we saw and the impact it will forever have on not only those she loved, but those of us like me who saw ourselves in her story, saw our family in her family, and wanted to, be there any way we could for folks going through such a painful experience. So again, let me know that you're watching. I'm going to just give some, of my thoughts and how I've been able to process everything that's been going on. Please do like, please do share. So as I've been kind of digesting what came to pass, first and foremost, I am just heartbroken. That is like the language that I can find for it, but it does not fully encompass how I felt. I cried. I sat in my room. I could not quite get it together. I had a headache once I heard the news. It like the world just went in a whole different direction. So that is me, not even a family member, someone who has watched this story and someone who has, seen again the what should I say, the family's heartache, watching it and kind of going along with the story and following the story throughout. It has made me, just again tore me to pieces. So I don't even know the right words to say, y'all. Let me just say it like that, because it took me so long to even start this live, because I wanted to say the right things, and I didn't want, I don't know if there are the perfect, words to say, except we love you. We are, grieving with you. We want to be there for you in any way that we can. One thing that I did see that actually made me very pleased was that the family has hired an attorney. So, a couple, you guys know that I'm an attorney. A couple of, my colleagues and I have been speaking in terms of, what can this family do to get justice for Miya? And even though, not rendering any legal advice at this time, but it is a very strong feeling among those of us in the legal community to look into more, what the apartment complex could have done better, why they didn't do it better, and how anything like this can be prevented in the future. I think that no matter who you are, or care about other human beings, you would hate to see this tragic loss of life to be in vain. And we want to, continue to bring this story to light and continue to find ways to honor her and honor her legacy. One thing I want to, compare, and again, if you want to leave a comment and if you want to share your feedback, thank you so much for leaving any comments that you like. I want to again make this a public square because there are so many people feeling so many different emotions, and they may not have people within their circle who knew her or didn't know her directly or don't have people that followed it as closely as they did. But for me, I am still kind of, out of it. And again, not growing up with her, she is not in my family. So people are like, "Oh, is this your cousin?" I'm like, "No." I don't know what drew me to her. I don't know what about her just made this matter to me, but it did, and it does. It does, because there can be other women that can be helped, saved, and other families that can be spared the type of heartache that her family is no doubt experiencing right now. I also tonight wanted to honor her extended family and extended loved ones. If you guys notice, I'm wearing these earrings tonight. They are black, green, and yellow. My family, like hers, also are immigrants from the Caribbean. My family is from Jamaica. Her family represents from both, I think it's Trinidad and Tobago and British Virgin Islands, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. But one part of the story that I think only those of us who are maybe here locally in South Florida may really realize is the impact of her loss to, the greater Caribbean American community here locally. One thing that struck me from one of her, I think it was her stepmom's post, is we are in a time right here in South Florida that we're getting ready to go into, and actually it's already started, the carnival season. And when I say carnival, I don't mean like, carnival with rides or, circus like that. I mean, carnival. I mean, the celebration of mass, the celebration of a tradition that originates from those who were indentured and enslaved all around basically the Caribbean, Latin American, and even here in the United States with Mardi Gras. It's the same type of roots from mostly, folks who were in bondage being given the opportunity to celebrate before, Easter, or before Lent, I should say. And these were wonderful expressions of freedom in a time where, slavery was rampant. And the celebration still continues today. You have different forms in different Caribbean islands. You have Barbados has crop over. You have, Trinidad and Tobago, which is known for one of the biggest carnivals in the world. And she, Miss Marcano, comes out of this tradition. So as I said earlier, this is Carnival Week here in Miami. And another huge fact is there has not been, because of COVID, carnivals that would normally be celebrated. New York is famous for the Labor Day. Toronto is also famous for Caravana. We have them all over. I mean, Nottingham, I don't think they had it in England either. But we usually have all these celebrations all around the world, and Miami is the first and only carnival to be celebrated here in 2021. So thinking about that rich tradition for her family, they are, very large figures within that cultural tradition. They are both her father. Um, Respect and condolences to Mr. Marlon Marcano, also known as DJ Eternal Vibes. Respect to her mom, and her stepmom, Giselle the Wasi one. These are folks that, you guys, are staples in, the carnival culture. They would be DJing big events. They would be hosting, huge, affairs, parties, and things like this. This is huge. For them not to have their daughter to be present, to participate. There are pictures of her online from when she played mass. She dressed in her costume as a part of Kitty Carnival. And I thought about, whoa, for it to happen, yes, is tragic. But for it to happen during this season, where they would be coming together as a family to celebrate love and light and mass, it is even more, you guys, I don't even know if I can explain and articulate how culturally this is even more impactful in such a heartbreaking way. They're a part of that, Caribbean American fabric that would be celebrating this year. So, thinking about all the events that are going to occur here in Miami, people were nervous about it. I'm not I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous about it. I don't know that I'll be participating in any or everything, because, people come to these events, guys, from all over the world, and they celebrate, they dance, they sing, they throw paint, they throw water, depending on the event. And so there are COVID restrictions. I think you have to show a negative PCR test to participate. And you have several events over like a week's time. The big carnival is next week, Sunday. But you have people who are individual, what do I say, promoters, might be having, this event at this restaurant, or there at, I guess it's at open spaces, open fairgrounds, and things like this. Bayfront Park, they're having a huge concert, Best of the Best. I heard DJ, hey, Chi-Town, thanks for stopping. And y'all, please drop a comment if you're watching, and if you want to share any words with respect to the passing of Miya Marcano. I'll do a quick reset here. I'm Suzette Speaks, host of Let's Talk Justice Show. Today, you can see I'm dressed very informally. This is more from the heart, less journalist, more so, just thinking about how I would feel if I was in their shoes. For those of you who have been touched by the story of Miya Marcano the way I have, I'm sure this weekend was a rough weekend for you, and I'm sure we are all, thinking about and uplifting the family, her extended family, her friends, all of those who were involved in the search. We are just really, really heartbroken for what we saw. Yes, so sad, I would agree. Again, some people don't understand, how could this one woman, this stranger to so many, really impact folks. But again, I could see, so much in her that I saw as, myself when I was 19. There are so many questions that the family still has. There are so many questions that I still have about the who, what, when, where, why. I hope their attorney will get to the bottom of it. I hope they will continue to rally. I know there is going to be a vigil. I've posted it on the Let's Talk Justice page. There's going to be a vigil on Wednesday. Rally in front of her apartments, Arden Villas, to make Arden talk, make them talk about what they did. How did they protect her? How are they supposed to protect her? We need to see, if there were enough, preemptive measures. And clearly there were not. Clearly there were not. Because anyone with a key fob could get anywhere. And they're saying they didn't have any other complaints. They're saying they didn't know this guy was a problem. Really? We're going to see. But I'm not going to make this stream about him. I want to uplift her because she mattered. Her life mattered. It mattered to so many people. It touched so many people. She was more than this story. She was more than her death. I think that's very important to remember, because we can get caught up in this defining her legacy, but she was a bright light. If you look up her hashtag and check out any of her pictures, oh no, we see what time it is. This was a beautiful internal and external soul. And she did not deserve this type of ending, if you will. Her family did not deserve this. It is just something that is a very sickening to my stomach outcome. There are so many unanswered questions. And the timeline for me when it comes to the cell phones and things like this, which they haven't been able to locate, there's still some questions out there. So I'm going to be doing some research this week. I'm going to be, just doing what I can to help keep her name out there, because it's not going to go away and it's not going to be swept under the rug. That's not what we're not going to do. Because at some point in time, everybody can relate to, there will be your cousin, there will be your sister, there will be whoever, your daughter, that will go away to school, and they should be protected. I saw a meme online that said protect our daughters, and then it had it crossed out and it said instead educate our sons. Now, I'm not sure, some people are saying Mr. Armando Caballero's background check was run by the apartment and nothing came up. That's what they're alleging. Not sure if that's 100% true. I'm going to do my research this week, guys, and I'm going to do a follow-up so we can kind of, not only continue to shine a light on her, but allow her story to be one that is a catalyst for change and protects somebody else. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. I think there's more that we can do. You'll see the hashtag that I use, Mia's Law, to educate and possibly change through legislation the requirements of apartments and places where people live. Can you believe there were no video surveillance cameras at her gated apartment community? None. That was shocking to me. I was like, why don't they just pull the tape? Pull the tape. There was no tape. And in terms of who could get in and who could go out, it is giving people a false sense of security, is what it's doing. So for what it's worth, I will, continue to provide updates or continue to speak about her. And I don't want this to die down, because there are still some questions that we got to get answered. And the family deserves accountability and justice. So this is my prayer to you, that you will have some degree of peace. I know this cannot be explained, what you must be feeling in terms of grief and loss and anger. You deserve all of those emotions. You deserve to express them, because this child was ripped from you in such a horrific way. So we're going to talk a little bit more about it, and we're going to have a couple more shows. I definitely want to, because I don't want, they found Mia, the way her body was left and the purse was left next to her. I'm gonna break down some of those facts in the next stream, because I'm not satisfied. Definitely not satisfied. So again, love, light, heartfelt condolences to the family and extended family of Miya Marcano. Grateful to have helped shed some light on what was happening as it was unfolding. I am so deeply moved and saddened and frustrated with how, things ended, if you will, in terms of how she was found. But I don't think I don't think things are quite finished yet. Now that they have an attorney, I hope and I pray, they can get some accountability, and maybe that will, um, in some way, help the grieving process. We don't have any word yet on funeral arrangements. Once we do, I will share that as well. Again, to the Carnival and the extended South Florida, Caribbean American community, I really do, send my love and my prayers and deepest condolences. This young woman touched so many of us. We don't even understand why, but we knew it was like, well, we have to get involved with this one, and so we'll remain involved. We'll remain, available to be a forum to share and for others to express what they find and what's going on, and however we can help, we will do so. So I just wanted to provide you guys with that update. I appreciate you watching. Please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like and share. All right, I'll see y'all next Zoom, next stream. I'll see